survey was just kind of like, what would you guys like? It's nothing about, we are thinking about doing this. This is what we would like to do if you approve it. The last survey you sent out, it was generic. Do you want this, and done? Nothing about this is what it's going to cost you if we approve this. Nothing. So you can take all these statistics and look at every little graph you want to, but unless you inform the members what your intent is, and your intent since you arrived here has been to have the loop paved for convenience. Your wife has even gone to the east exit
I said we were going to try to be civil.
It's civil, I'm telling the truth. I've got the minutes right here from the meetings.
Diane, I'd like to speak to what you're addressing. I remember that meeting, and that was a town hall meeting, and the reason it was done was not to get a specific, it was to have, and we had a really great turnout. It was a wonderful meeting, actually. It was to ask people, what do you want? What are your concerns? Where do you think we should go?
Your survey was right here. It had nothing to do about where you want to go. You knew where you wanted to go.
That's not true, Diane.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Now, I think we're falling into, we're getting into personalities.
No,
again.
I'm just stating what you
The
did.
meeting was going really well, and we're so glad you guys are here, and
Yes.
we want to address your concerns. But when it gets personal, and when people start pointing fingers, it's very.
I'm just
Okay.
stating who was at the meeting.
Let's go on. Duly noted. Yes.
Hi, Craig Harris, White Pine Way. White Pine's kind of unusual, I think, legally, because it floats between the county and White Pine, or Ponderosa. If you pave that thing with any kind of chip seal, auto seal, or even gasoline, or I think, that's going to be a freeway for the hunters.
Yep.
They already barrel down there at 40. Well, looking at 60.
Oh, yeah.
And then I have a question. Why is this so front-loaded for the next 3 years? Why aren't we doing like a mile or something? Why aren't we doing something reasonable? And why am I not able to vote on this? That's what I'd like to know. I've been coming for 9, I want to finish speaking, please. I've been coming for 9 years. I stopped for about 4. I got tired of the arguments, the childishness, and they wanted to pave it then, and they still want to pave it now. We've been fighting this thing.
Yep.
I don't want to spend that kind of money.
Okay.
I'm perfectly happy with a good gravel road.
Okay. Your input's taken.
One quick one. Val Russell, at the annual meeting, Sue Mose stood up when news was brought up for chip sealing and dust abatement. And she said that they will go out for a vote to the homeowners before they do anything. You said that, Sue, at the annual meeting.
That's what I said.
And now you're saying they're not going out for a vote.
No one has said anything to that degree.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
I haven't said
Right
that
here.
at all.
It's right here. You already made a decision. You're gonna put down Odyssey.
No, they didn't.
That's a recommendation.
It's a recommendation received from the committee. We've not made any decision whatsoever on anything.
No, but you're saying it's maintenance, not a capital
We haven't made
improvement.
any final decision on anything.
Okay, we've already discussed that.
So you will go out for a vote.
We didn't say we will, we didn't say we didn't.
Start over.
Last,
She said we'll go out for a vote before we do anything, and now
when we
you're saying
started
you're
this
not gonna go
discussion
out.
2 years ago, we said we would put it out to the membership for a vote. That's what we said. They were not on the board at the time, but Danelle and I, the original board members that are still here, said we wanted to put this whole issue out to the vote to the membership because we felt
And we all
that
agreed, we waited for the vote, and you never came out for one. And so
We didn't have
instead, you
the
threw out my
information put
5-year action
together.
plan that was gonna do a half-a-mile paving.
because it was determined that paving and asphalt paving was a capital improvement. Asphalt paving was a capital improvement, so we had to refund the money to
This
the
Odyssey
members.
has asphalt in it. It is a form of asphalt
So
paving.
does the chip seal. I mean,
So then
Okay.
they're the same.
They're the same.
I'm not arguing the point. I'm not voting on it.
Yes.
I don't have enough information on it.
John Thomas,
Sorry, and then we'll work back in the,
in all the things that I've seen so far, I have yet to see how much is this gonna cost? How's it gonna be paid for? None of this has been put out to the members.
No.
And so I'm sitting here going, is it 200,000?
Yeah.
Is it 500,000? Is it 1.2 million? And where are we gonna get the money if we all wanted to do it? I think the Olive Seal, from what I've read through the entire brochure, I think it's a great product. Looks like it would be fantastic. How much does it cost?
there, in the presentation that is on the website that was given to us on the 10th, it costs. And how much it's gonna cost by year.
We don't have.
Those are not
Yeah, we don't have a website.
Sounds a yearly
How do we get it?
Their yearly costs,
Well,
and they're very
okay, so
specific to
what-
this place.
We're all in
that
the
money.
meeting. What is the cost? Tell us.
About $300
Then I
a
can't
year.
get it.
No, how much is the total cost?
But
Of
because
putting the
total-
chip seal on the main #1 area you're talking about doing the loop, black pine and super pine. What is that cost up front? Because that's what you're gonna have to pay up front. You can't pay it at $320 a lot. You gotta pay it up front.
I understand that.
And where's that money gonna come from if it's more than $150,000?
Letter to me, that's what he says, and they just lied just now. It would take a decision that it's not, that it's not a capital improvement, no owner vote is required, right in the letter to me. It was put on the website. Right there. It's in the letter to me.
This gentleman,
Yeah, I'm trying to answer that one question. For the first 3 years. About $480,000 for the first 2 years. For those main roads. $480,000 for 2 to 3 years for those main roads.
Okay, so you're planning on doing all at once or over a 3-year
Over a
period?
3-year period.
So you're gonna do what first?
192, 130, 156, according to this, the recommendation. It's not the plan that we have approved, it's not the
Okay,
plan.
no, I understand that. But, you know, where you guys are getting in trouble is you're trying to railroad this thing through. I'm not against it. If everyone here were to, if the members vote for it, I'll support it 100%.
we all
But
will.
for 5 people to make a decision to spend $500,000 and say, oh, it's just gonna come out of maintenance, that's ridiculous. And you know it, and we know it.
Okay,
That's the point.
that's why we're having these meetings. Yes,
I just got one thing I'd like to clarify.
Your
The
name,
money
please.
was given back because that was deemed a capital improvement before. Why is it not a capital improvement now, according to the same attorney?
Yes, that's what we
Because
said.
That's
Yes.
in your paperwork, the same attorney.
here is the answer to that. We've researched the original question that was asked to that same attorney. And that original question was paving a gravel road. The answer was capital improvement. The question that was asked this time was, what's the difference between paving and other maintenance? And his question, and his answer was, paving's a capital, anything short of paving is maintenance. So we gave him the direct, we gave him,
You're misstating that.
That's right.
It was given back because it was chip seal, is not maintenance. He said it was a capital improvement. Chip seal, it's entirely different than paving.
the question was asked paving. And I know it's different from, paving's different from chip seal, but the wrong
From
question was
their own
asked.
minutes.
Yeah,
From
she's
their
got
own
it right
minutes.
there. Your own words, your own minutes are hanging you here. You're gonna
What
have to
minutes
get
are
it
those?
voted on.
What minutes were those?
Thank you, William Jones.
Thank you.
He wants to know
Next,
what.
somebody in the back.
Minutes?
A lot of questions
He
in the
knows, I
back.
sent them to him.
I'll take it.
He's a big
The minutes
business.
said paving.
Noble Fur. Got a question. Everything that you guys do, you have to get 2 or 3 bids for. How many bids do you have for this auto seal?
Yep.
We haven't gone through the, we don't know what
I
the
mean,
scope
who's
is.
even told you about it? Have you got anything from anybody that knows exactly what they're doing here in this
Yes,
state?
we have.
Just
In this state?
They've taken the information that they
No,
got
yeah.
from the experts, and from this state, a budgetary number was given to us.
That's budgetary. I mean, the road itself, how it's gonna hold up. Is there anybody that has put this down in this state
No,
already?
well, I mean, you're correct. No one has put it down in.
Why would you want us to be the guinea pig and put our money out?
It's an issue.
Why can't we wait until somebody here does it? If it's as good a product as they say it is, believe me, I'll wait a year or 2 and then I'll put my money into it too.
Yeah.
But if it isn't that good a product, we're gonna lose it in a year, why the hell would anybody wanna put their money out?
I've done some research on that.
I didn't see it. Actually see it.
Supposedly Deschutes County's doing it this summer.
No, they're not, they have not, oh yeah, they are. They're going to, but they have not done it yet, that's what I'm saying.
That's our money.
That's our money.
Coos County is looking at putting in 3.5 miles of it this summer. We have a request going to Lake County, is supposedly has either done some or is intending.
Nobody has done it yet, but why
Well-
are we trying to push it through before somebody has and we can look at it?
It's a valid point. We're not trying to push
Really,
through
we're not
anything.
trying.
Sounds
You're
like.
bringing it up scaring the hell out of everybody until it's proven. You ought to talk to everybody you need to first. And make sure that this product is good. It's gonna work on our pumice material that we have and the rock that we have and the cold and hot that we have. I don't wanna be a guinea pig.
Good question. Okay, yes.
Maybe they should, maybe they should pay us to do it.
Yeah, there you go. Put it in for nothing and pay us to be the guinea pig. That makes sense.
Okay, yes.
What about those of us that are on paved street? They aren't gonna do anything with our paved roads or on the paved Ponderosa.
On the chip seal part.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's just all paved, so I
all
don't know,
chip seal.
we don't get involved in that.
You pay too.
No, ultimately, from the recommendation from the planning committee, ultimately that road's going to be sealed again as it was 2 years ago. At that point, this process would be applied. So that all the roads didn't have the same code into them.
So is basically what you're saying is that you're not gonna give us a chance to vote on it?
We have not said that.
We'd like a commitment.
Would you say that?
Yes.
You know, how thick ours is up here? Are you going to give us the opportunity to vote on this, yes or no?
Once a plan is determined,
Yes or no?
Oh, this is just BS.
How about
Why
yes
don't
or
you just
no?
flush your toilet and forget it?
okay, next.
Hi, Marlene Craig.
Thanks, Mike.
I don't understand why all of us are going to have to pay for this, but we're not all going to be able to utilize it. We're in a cul-de-sac. I thought it was understood that the cul-de-sacs won't have anything done to them except what is going right now.
That decision hasn't been made.
I believe you pay taxes in Deschutes County, correct? And they pave a road in Redmond that you don't use, but you still pay for it. That is the way our system works.
Yes.
Money goes into Deschutes County decides what they're gonna do. It might be 20 miles from your house, but you're still, your tax dollars go for it. We're an association, all of our money goes into it, and certain areas are gonna get stuff. And maybe somebody, I live on a cul-de-sac, I'm the same as you. And those things happen.
Let me ask you this, is your home going to appreciate because they did chip seal down the road?
I have been talking to, I don't know, many of you have seen Village Properties signs around. Mark Halverson, principal broker there, is making me a report. His assumption is property values will increase with pavement in our association. He hasn't come up to where, but it's his and he is a realtor in this county, in this area. He feels that it will appreciate the sellability and the value of your property with some kind of a hard surface. We
Regardless
haven't-
whether it's at my place, right?
It's the cul-de-sacs, we're working on, he's gone on vacation, I haven't been able to get a final answer. The cul-de-sacs, he's not so sure, but the main roads where the dust comes from, he feels that that will appreciate our value. We will have that at the next meeting, I'll try to have that from him.
That'd be fine, thank you.
Yes, who hasn't had a chance to speak
The
yet?
gentleman in the back is that.
Okay, go ahead.
Larry Nicholson, lot 154. I have several concerns. One is stated purpose of this, but the other concern I have is plowing and grading. Is this surface so hard that we're not gonna get into it in snow removal next winter? Because
one of
that
the-
is an issue on,
Minnesota.
They use it in Minnesota, they use it in Alaska.
but
And there's a lot of
again,
snow in Alaska.
the blades won't go into it, so. And
Yes or no?
how about vehicles? You know, the state of Oregon promises that de-icer doesn't bother your vehicle, but yet it causes them to rust like crazy. And the other concern is this a trackable stuff where it's gonna contaminate my concrete from driving into my garage, which would then take it right on into the house? I mean, I'm not familiar with this product, but that's certainly a concern I have, is how
Good
wet a
question.
product is it?
It's a good question.
Jeff?
It's a good question. We'll dig into it. These are the kinds of questions that we need to understand.
I'm sorry to address you again, but I gave some information there to Sue that I would like you to look at. If you do anything that increases the value of your property, the IRS says that is a capital improvement,
Okay?
period.
Okay?
And
We'll
I
look into
think they're gonna take precedence over a lawyer.
it. Okay? We'll take it. Okay, we've got room for a few more.
We
What?
got some hands up.
Hands up, go.
Thank you. Carolyn Parker. Ponderosa Pines neighborhood is already the prime location in La Pine. You could talk to any realtor in the area, and that's the reason we all live there. One of the reasons. My second statement or question is for the road liaison, Julie. Why are they putting gravel from the side of the road onto the pavement?
Well, what he was doing, and he's actually supposed to come through with the sweeper, is the edges of the road. He was trying to basically, he was only supposed to work on the pavement side, so we build up the edges of the road so they don't break. Where we do have chip
Okay.
seal, and he tried this to go around the rest and make sure everything looks good, and he just tried his best. There's no real.
There's been some awful darn close head-ons, because people are trying to stay out of the gravel, and they think that's the gravel on the edge of the road. And so then you got somebody on both sides of the road trying to use the middle,
Okay.
and
No, that's a good point. I'm gonna I'll talk to Bill and I'll go out to check out the road myself and see exactly what he's done. I don't check every piece of road, you know, I just check certain areas, so
the
I'm
main
gonna check
Ponderosa
it.
way.
So it's by your house, right?
And the loop, huh?
It's by your house or that?
No, just on the paved area. We're not down, we're in the
Okay.
gravel area.
Yeah,
We're
the
not on
paved area,
paved
he was trying to build up the edges, so the edges of the chip seal did not.
Okay, we're moving off way off the agenda here. We'll handle that specific issue. Barb, you have a hand.
We have no roads manager,
That's right.
and this odyssey, I read the 58-page report. And so my concern is that because we have no roads manager, we have no one in this association who can write the specs that the bids would be taken from. Plus, we have no contractors in Central Oregon that have experience with this product. So how are you going to handle that? Because this product has so many variables to it that are so dangerous. One is fire. This stuff can explode when you're combining the bitumen and the cutter. And it specifically says in your 58-page document that it can cause explosions.
I
So
didn't write the document.
I know you didn't, but you put it on the website.
Absolutely.
So what
There's
I'm saying is,
2 million other documents out there.
where are we going to get a contractor who's experienced? How are we going to write the specifications to go out for bid for something that no contractor in this state has experience with?
That's why one of the things that we have on the new business for this discussion is to reactivate an ad hoc road committee and call for volunteers.
But that's still, there's no one in this association who's got the qualifications to write these specifications.
Mark, I was on the school board one time when we did a remodel at a school. The previous one had been done with people from the school in charge. When we did ours, we hired a project manager who knew building.
Right.
It would be my thought that if we were going to do something to this road, that we would hire a project manager that knows the roads, knows those things. That's their expertise. They would help us make up the specs for the bid, and then we would put it out to bid. You put a little money up front for an expert, and it saves you lots of money down the line. That's what we did as a school board, because we did not have the expertise to build a school. We hired somebody that did. It would be my suggestion, if we get to that point, that we hire somebody that has the knowledge to write the specs. And when you write the specs, you make sure then that the people are responsible for what they do.
And I agree with that. However, because it's never been done in the state of Oregon, nobody in the state of Oregon has experience. You going to bring someone in from another state?
It's not that far from Washington. If they're licensed here, it's not that far. It's been being done for a considerable period of time in the adjoining states.
Yeah, Leroy Highland and Springwood. I built roads for a number of years, and one of the things that I've read in regards to this, it needs a very good, very sound, hard substrate underneath in order to keep it from erupting and breaking apart. And what I would say, based on my experience, is the pumming that we have as a substrate here is not adequate for this type of a process, and every place that has had something similar to this, there has been tremendous problems with it, and they've had to go a different route after the fact.
Okay. Well, I'm not a roads person, so.
No, I totally agree with what you just said. Our roads are, the pumming is it deteriorates too fast, and when you put the oil down, it's too much like sand. It would absorb that oil, and then you wouldn't get the penetration coming up through traffic use on the aggregate you place on top. Our subgrade, even though you went out and tested it, said it's adequate, it's not adequate.
Who tested it? Who was it?
You might have the depth, but you're not going to have the bearing strength, and it's going to be pumming, and that oil is not going to work on it.
Okay.
One more, Craig Harris.
Okay.
This is quick, it's a follow-up. I would like an answer to that question. Are you going to put it to a vote of the members or not? Not an evasive answer, but a direct answer. Yes or no, please?
I haven't made my decision yet.
That's not a direct answer.
It's your decision or is it the board's decision?
I haven't personally made my decision. It's going to be a board decision, but I personally can't answer that for my own self yet. Okay?
That's not the answer I'm looking for, a yes or a no.
Well, I'm sorry I don't have the answer for you.
So evasion is the answer?
Yeah. We got,
Indecision is the difference.
we got election coming up.
Since we're not taking
Okay.
people to talk over on this side, I'm gonna stand up and talk. My name is Keith Shuffler. I knew I bought a place on a gravel road. I like the gravel road. All we need to do is maintain the roads a little bit and get everybody to slow down. You got it. And they will be just fine. We don't need all this other crap.
Okay. Thank you.
Also, I'd like to say something. There is a meeting, 2 meetings next month regarding the septic issue, which could affect our roads. And I don't know, we were supposed to have someone from the board going to those meetings for the last 3 years, and I've never seen anybody from the board there yet. Larry would go occasionally, But that could affect whether we put things down and then have to tear roads up because we put in cluster systems. So I suggest somebody
Okay. We'll
go
do
to
it.
those meetings.
That's a good
Are
idea.
you taking anything other than the roads right now?
No, we're just talking about roads right now.
This
This
gentleman-
meeting was
Yes.
advertised.
There's a gentleman
Input.
there.
Well,
There's one back here.
It's concerned with
At the
roads.
very end of White Pine Way, I'm lucky if I even get my cul-de-sac gravelled all the way. Normally we don't, and it's normally, this time of year, or this year isn't that bad, but normally we don't even get it plowed. But I think the board really has to look at, in my opinion, this is a capital improvement. And as such, you should give that vote, each member should be able to do their own cost-benefit analysis and have their input when this thing's all determined. It shouldn't be up to you guys, it should be up to the entire membership, because all the way at the end of White Pine Way, I'm paying for the exact same amount that somebody's gonna be paying on the loop. And I don't see the benefit for it. So for me to look at it, it just doesn't hold weight that you guys get to make the decision on that. It should be the entire population of the association.
Right.
Talk about.
Can I get your name? I didn't hear your name.
Ken Elliott.
Ken, okay, thank you.
Two more questions. Here's one right here.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make a statement.
Only 2/3 of it.
My name's Dennis Carroll. Okay, I've been coming up here since 1972. I'm close to the property. Me and my wife, we now own it. 1972, you know what kind of roads you had up here?
Cinder.
They were called Hummy Stone roads. It was cinder and it was red. And I just say now, the roads that we have now, the gravel roads that we have now, are 300% better than they were. And I kind of like it.
One more question.
This lady right here.
This lady right over there, she's been patient. Thank you very much.
I just want to say that
Name, please?
my name is Phyllis Jones,
Okay, thank you, Phyllis.
and excuse my voice, I've been thinking about this for a long time and I'm quite emotional about it. I admit that, but I want to say that you guys are our voice, and when your voice doesn't sound like us, then you have problems. You need to realize that we have voices and you're working for us. You need to remember that. You need to remember that. Say you want to vote on, instead of saying, well, you haven't considered that yet. Well, you don't have the right to say that. You don't have the right to sit up there and act like your opinion is bigger and better than ours, because you're sitting there for us.
We got
You know, I have
from
to-
Washington, D.C.
I would like to say that I agree with you more on that. I don't think we're smarter, I don't think we know more, I don't think,
Then don't act like you are.
I don't, I.
Maybe you don't, but some of you, I've been sitting out here listening, and I've been listening to some of you talk, and some of you act like you know better than us, and that you, well, listen, you can't do anything without our money. It's our money that you're taking to do this with, what you want to do. And we have a right to say something about it. This is the United States of America.
Yeah.
We're citizens, we have rights.
It's a democracy.
We could hold our money
Make a
back.
comment about Washington DC will be here
Boycott.
next week. Don't go there.
No, don't take that attitude. You need to
Washington,
listen.
DC.
You need to listen. You need to listen and stop closing your ears to what we say. You need to open up your ears and listen to us, because we're not going to stop talking. And I'm glad you said what you did online about this big, horrendous expense, because it made all these people come out here and say something to you. You don't want to get me started on this.
Yes,
All I
I
have time to do is sit around and think about things.
I got one question.
Last question.
Okay. Now, I noticed that you're short on the board.
No.
How come you're short members on the board?
Because nobody wants to help us.
Oh, yeah, that's why I asked, because that's a lot.
Absolutely.
No one has ever come and asked me to join the
Right
board.
there.
Oh, of course I would. I would love to be on the board, but you have them qualifications.
Yeah, it wasn't in the click.
Do I qualify? Will you accept
Gotta
me?
do the good
Because you
old
see,
boy.
if you don't
Okay.
run and or
We've
elected,
gone a little bit too far out of
then
the,
the board
out of the
has
road
to
thing. So,
elect you.
moving
You ain't saying
forward,
nothing yet, Slick.
moving forward with the, new business.
You can frown at me if you want.
Let's take a 10-minute recess. We'll start the rest of our meeting.